Here is the Lasko WeatherShield 3720 box fan in the bedroom, ramping up for another year of hate comments. I've had this for a number of years now. It's kind of at least 4 or 5 years old. The date on here is 2013, 2014. It's older than I thought it was. And this kind of sits here in the bedroom window every year, and it runs almost continuously through the summer. And so now we're going on, if it was from 2014, that would make this the 7th cooling season. And as much as this is a cheap fan, I have to say it's been a pretty good fan. I've never done any service to it besides just blowing the motor out with compressed air. It needs to be cleaned, properly. It should be taken apart and washed, because there's a lot of dust accumulating in there now. But maybe this year I'll do that. But it still works. It still runs just fine. We're in April right now, and so I put it on during the day, but then I cut it off at night because it's still dropping into the 50s at night, and that's too cold for me. But once we get into June, July, August, it'll run constantly. And the reason I use this fan is because this is a south-facing window. It's full sun exposure all day, and the sun exposure damages plastic, it fades paint, and I don't want to put a vintage fan into a use case where it's going to get ruined. And that's what will happen in this window. People are going to argue that it's not true. Well, it's true. And that's that. Let's take a look at the back, and you can see here the feet have turned yellow. This is what the sun exposure does. It's kind of odd that it's only the feet though and nothing else. No, they must be made out of a different plastic or something. They haven't broke yet though, so that's good. This is the older style motor. It's just the regular PSC one, not the well, it's not a shaded pole, but it's not the pole motor. I think the newer ones have a 6 or 8 pole motor in there. This is the old conventional style motor. The only issue that this fan is having is the handle keeps breaking. It broke on the left side a year or two ago, and I fixed it. And then it broke on the right side now, so I gotta fix that now. But if that's the only thing that's happened, I think this was about $23. After 7 years of service, I'm not complaining. It does have that daggone fuse plug. We complain about this a lot, but I'm starting to think that that's not justified, because I really can't think of any scenarios where I've seen a fan fail and it's because this fuse. These really don't seem to go out that often at all. I still think they should be replaceable, but if they last, then they last. Okay, I've had this on a couple times, but this will be the first official startup for whatever that's worth. Here's high. And the bearings are a little noisy at first. After a few minutes when they warm up, they're fine. It's not moving as much air as it used to, but that of course is a factor of all the dust in there. Go down to medium with the 2 as it's on the switch. Ow. And we'll go down to the 1. And on the 1 is where you're going to hear that bearing rattle for a little while. I've thought about making a window fan for in here out of like a gable fan or something like that. But I don't know if I'll ever get around to doing that. Part of me kind of likes using this one because I remember years ago we have some relatives a couple of states over, and we'd always go to their house for summer, a couple of days out of the summer, and the neighbor had in the window one of these, and it was always running on low, and I don't know, I kind of liked it. And a couple decades later, I was over there last summer, and I went into their house, and I saw it, because I hadn't seen the thing for years, because they took it out of that window and put an air conditioner in that window. So last year, I was in their house, and I saw the fan. They still had it. I thought it was long gone. It ended up being, because I only saw it from the back, but it ended up being one of those early, I think it was the premium model that they called it. And it was the same one, I think, that was at the vacation house a couple years ago. Actually, it might have been last year too, that I did a video of. So that was kind of neat to see that one, and it was still there, still in use. So that one's still going. But anyways, seeing this one from behind kind of reminds me of the other one. And it's pretty much quieted down already. It only takes a few minutes for the bearings to stop making that noise. And the other noise is from the plant leaves moving around. So that's it. It's going. It's already up to 65 degrees out, so I'm probably going to leave it on. And it looks like it's working just fine. I don't particularly like this switch. I find it kind of hard to turn, but most of the time it just stays on anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so that's it. It's ready for another year of hate comments. Let's have at it. Ridiculous.